Hello and welcome to All Top 5s. I've already done one video on monsters from Japanese folklore which features some weird and wonderful examples. There are so many, however, that I just had to do another one. Here are 5 of the strangest and sometimes creepiest yokai, or creatures from Japanese folklore, that I've come across. Number 5. Tenjo Kudari. The name Tenjo Kudari literally means ceiling hanger, so no surprises for guessing what this monster does. Generally, the Tenjo Kudari hides away from human contact and daylight, preferring to live and sleep in attics and lofts, or the crawl space between the ceiling and the roof. Sometimes, however, this monster will make its way out of its lair and slowly crawl out of the ceiling, so as to scare anyone in the room. The Tenjo Kudari takes the form of a dishevelled, ugly, long-haired old woman who is often naked. No one knows why it exists or what caused it to want to scare people, but it's not thought to be dangerous or to harm humans, just to scare the living daylights out of them. There was a story once about a monster that lived in the crawl space of an inn, and at night time it would lower itself from the ceiling to grab the inn's patrons and devour them. The Tenjo Kudari is thought possibly to have been inspired by this, but it's not certain. Definitely creepy though. Number 4. Tanami. See if you can guess what famous movie monster this creature inspired. Tanami translates into English as eyes on hands, and it's not hard to see why. The Tanami appears as an elderly blind man whose eyes are on his hands rather than in his head. This creature is supposedly dangerous to humans, and it's thought to eat them. The first mention of the Tanami seems to come from an old Japanese folk tale. The story goes that a travelling man was attacked by a man with eyes on his hands instead of his face. He escaped and sheltered in an inn. He recounted this assault to the innkeeper, who told him that only days before a blind man was mugged in the very same area. He slowly died from his injuries, but not before shouting out, "If only I could have had one glance at their faces! If I only had eyes that worked, even if only on the palms of my hands!" As a result of his anger, he was reborn as the Tanami, with eyes staring out from his palms. Another legend of the Tanami speaks about a priest hiding a young man away from the monster in a locked chest. The Tanami entered the temple, sniffed its way around, and stopped right by the chest. The priest then heard an odd slurping noise, likened to a dog sucking on a bone. Once the monster had gone, the priest came out of hiding and reopened that chest. Inside was just the skin and flesh of the young man. The Tanami had somehow slurped the bones out from inside his body. And if you hadn't guessed already, the monster that the Tanami provided inspiration for, it's the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. Creepy. Number 3. Kayo Kagan. Whether I've pronounced it right or not, it's time for something a little less disturbing. And for that, I turn to the strange, vaguely adorable Kayo Kagan. It's about the size of a dog, but appears only to be a mass of dark, tangled hair. Its name is actually a play on words using characters in Japanese that mean hairy and fluffy, but can also be written using characters that mean rare and dubious. The Kayo Kagan is both of these things, as it hides away from human activity, preferring quiet, dirty habitats to live in. Despite this, the Kayo Kagan do sometimes live near or even among humans, especially where it's damp, dark and dirty, such as underneath floorboards and anywhere in filthy households. It's thought that they are bad luck spirits of disease and uncleanliness, so they're regarded as pests who bring ill health upon their neighbours. You can always tell when a Kayo Kagan is nearby because people in the household will frequently fall sick or experience a run of bad luck. It's easy to keep these monsters at bay though, apparently, as they despise clean, well-maintained places. If ever you've needed an excuse to keep your place tidy, hey? Number 2. Otoroshi. The Otoroshi is thought to get its name from a variation of one word for scary, and that's a fine way to describe this monster. Found squatting on gates and above doors in areas near a temple or shrine, the Otoroshi is a creepy sight to behold, living up to its name. It crouches on 4 legs, each equipped with sharp claws, and it has long dark hair all over its body. Its face is large and exaggerated, with tusks coming out of its mouth, and the skin that can be seen is orange or blue. Although rare, the Otoroshi are said to guard entrances to sacred places, acting as a sort of guard where they can protect the divine realm from the physical one. It usually eats small mammals that also live around these shrines, but it's known to attack humans if they're particularly impious, or if they attempt to pass through the Otoroshi's gateway when they shouldn't. The dangerous Otoroshi will then pounce upon the person and rip them apart, eating them once they're dead. It's very uncommon to see an Otoroshi, according to the tale, as they are masters of disguise, blending in with their background and becoming practically invisible. Just make sure you check each doorway or gate carefully next time you pass through one. Number 1. Nupepo. I'm ending the list today high on the weird scale with the bizarre Nupepo. Its name comes from slang for someone wearing too much makeup. Even its name is bizarre then. It's incredibly rare and it haunts cemeteries and old graveyards. More often smelled than seen due to its unbelievably awful stench said to be like that of rotting meat, the Nupepo isn't much better to look at either. It has a vaguely humanoid shape, but it looks like a huge lump of blubber or fat with rolls and folds all over its body. Those on its front are said to be in the rough shape of a face. The Nupepo usually comes out at night and doesn't seem to be dangerous. They're a little mischievous though, chasing people in towns and villages to disgust them with their awful looks and vile smell. It's allegedly very fast, which is surprising for its size and composition. It's not known quite how the Nupepo came into being, but some people say it used to be another type of shape-shifting monster that messed up a particular transformation, remaining stuck in the form of the Nupepo forever. It is disgusting, but I know that there are others that I'd definitely like to meet less than the comical Nupepo. And that's it from all top 5s for this week. The more I research these monsters, the more weird, scary, wonderful and intriguing examples that I keep finding. I sometimes wish this channel was called All Top 25s, you know. What do you think of these incredible folklore creations from Japan? When you're discussing this video in the comments, please do be polite and considerate of others, because then we'll all get on a lot better. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. It definitely helps me out and helps other people find the videos a bit easier. I do release a new video every single Tuesday, that's one a week, so you can subscribe by clicking on that subscribe button. I'll end by saying peace and love to each and every one of you, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.